strongly against communism. You walk out on colonialism. You stay.
Welcome back to the Now Morning Show. Of course, our collaboration with the Art Society of Trinidad and Tobago continues. And this week, we're happy to have with us, not just on set in the form of art, but here with us this morning, Wyatt Gallery, an artist who definitely is an honorary Trinbagonian and has shown us the beauty of what some of us may take for granted on a daily basis. Good morning, Wyatt, and welcome.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure to have you on set. Thank you for joining us. It's a very busy day, high energy, and I think your work has definitely brought us some peace on this morning. Now, Wyatt, one of the things that you were speaking of just before, of course, we went live is the fact that you have been photographing Trinidad and Tobago and really, I guess, in many ways communicating with us something that we overlook. What led you to get to that space?
I came here for Carnival in 1998, and I was just blown away by the cultural diversity. And I think being an outsider, sometimes it allows you to see something that might be ordinary, but at the same time extraordinary.
Yeah.
And that's what I try to focus on in my work. It could be an everyday thing like breeze blocks that you see here, but really finding the beauty of that and bringing it to the surface for others to see.
Now, as you mentioned, the ordinary, but also being extraordinary, one of the mediums is the cyanotype medium that you use, which, if I'm not mistaken, we haven't actually had on the show. So can you give us a little background into that?
Well, if you look at these photographs, you'll see these are actual photographs.
Oh, okay.
And they're printed on fabric, but the color is blue.
Yeah.
And so cyanotype, much like your outfit today, can only print in blue. It's a process from the 1840s, so original photographic process. And I combine two different liquids together that makes the liquid light sensitive and create my own negatives and then put them out in the sunlight for about 15 minutes, which creates these photographs on the fabric.
Now, it's clear there's a lot of depth to your work. I mean, just looking at some of the profiles, one of the things that also has been focused on is the wabi-sabi philosophy. What is that about?
Well, while making these prints, I was trying to get them perfect. I wanted everything to be exactly perfect, and I could never get one to be perfect. And I started learning about wabi-sabi, which is the art of imperfections and embracing our mistakes. And as a father of two children, I'm always trying to be the best dad I can be and the best person I could be. And so this practice of wabi-sabi and making these cyanotypes was a practice for me to be okay with making mistakes and accept the imperfections in life and see that as the true beauty.
Definitely. So let's go through the wonderful beauty that we have on set, starting with this one that is behind me here. Can you walk us through the name and maybe a bit of the experience when you're creating it? Because I'm sure every experience was a little bit different.
Sure, exactly. Well, these are all untitled breeze blocks.
Okay.
And you'll see this one, if you're talking about the red border, this one we wanted to make more into a quilt. So in 2020, we came out with a mini carnival band called the Wide Awakes, and we created capes.
Nice.
And these were some of the leftover fabrics from that carnival band, and so that's why this one has a denim border and African fabric. So the fabric is also, to me, part of the culture of Trinidad, and so that's why I chose to print these on fabric.
So each of these that you have here, as you mentioned, they come from a photograph. They're also untitled and went through that similar 15-minute process, yes? So like this one that's next to us, one of the things that definitely is different is the fact that the print seems a lot larger. What was the difference in the process?
Well, I was experimenting with different sizes and different fabrics. Now, if you look at the color of the breeze block, so that's the original color of the fabric. So you'll see some are green, some are maroon, some are white, some are a lighter blue. So whatever part does not get exposed by the sun, it stays true to the original color. And then some of them, they all have mistakes, like I said. And some of those mistakes look like light shining through a window, or this one has bleach on it. You'll see there's dots that happen. So all of the mistakes create the true beauty of it.
What would you like people to take away from your art when they see it?
With this series, I'd like people to take away that there's beauty all around us. And we just have to look up a little bit sometimes and take a moment to take a pause and see what's around us and see the beauty in our everyday.
And for those of you that are just joining us, we're chatting with Wyatt Gallery this morning, who also does have an upcoming exhibition at Loft TT. Can you give us some more details on that?
Well, we just had the exhibition at Loft TT, so you just missed it. But Loft Gallery is in Woodbrook, above the District Cafe, and it was a great exhibition. We had about 64 pieces.
Wow.
So most of them sold, and there's a few remaining. But that's one of the highlights for me, is when people like my work so much that they want to put it in their home and live with it. And that's how I grew up, with art all around me, and I think it's important that we all treasure art, so it's great that your show is having us artists on.
Oh, definitely. And I think, to be quite honest, it's something that is going to bring some stillness and some calm to our set as well, which is something that we take from this. And I know it's something you've alluded to, you're finding that stillness in that everyday chaos. When you're going through the process of creating these, even with that, I guess, those ups and downs of the perfection versus imperfection, do you get that calmness and that stillness?
When I chose to make these, because I was tired of doing digital photography. I wanted to get off the computer, get off my phone, get off devices. And with this work, I have to use my hands to develop the chemicals, have to be in a dark room, I have to take the fabric and the prints and put them outside. And so it did create a calmness and a peace within me in just making the work. And that was really the point of this process. That one, yes, I'm focusing on the beauty of breeze blocks as a form of architecture, but the process of it was really for me to return to my creativity and peace and be in the present moment at one time.
It's beautiful. So definitely sort of a full circle moment. As you said, you came here in 1998, so I can only imagine what it would have been like for that first carnival experience.
Oh, fantastic, yeah.
But now to be here and, of course, to be calm. Now, you've lived in Trinidad for a while.
Yes.
How would you say living here has shaped your artistic eye particularly?
That's a great question. Well, a lot of my work has become about natural disaster aftermaths and climate change. So I think being on an island and seeing how fragile it can be, especially when it rains and the floods, has made me much more aware of how we can use art and how I can use my photography to make a difference and to bring things to the surface so there's more awareness around that.
Yeah. And speaking about making a difference, we were just very briefly chatting off air. So, I mean, yes, you do photography, you do art, but you're also involved in a realm of other things. Do you think that living here is something that has pushed you to that space to, let's say, make access to everybody available, as we were chatting about?
In anything I do, it's important for me to feel like I'm making a difference and having an impact. So right now I'm part of a company called Wham Now, where we're launching a new digital payment app. And the point of that is for people, if you don't have a bank account or you live very far from a bank, like say up in Tobago, this app allows you to access your bank accounts, access your money, and just make life easier when it comes to your money.
Definitely. That's something I think we can all get on board with, making life easier. So you're bringing some peace to our set, some stillness for our mental, and looking also at helping us with our bank accounts. So we super appreciate that as well. Wyatt, for those who are interested, where can we get more information about your artwork?
My website is wyattgallery.com, Instagram, everything is at Wyatt Gallery, and so you can see the work there, and people can reach out to me if they're interested in the photographs. Or want any more information.
Is there anything that we should be looking out for coming up in the future?
Well, I'm going to continue this series, and the breeze blocks brought me to electrical wires. So there's a whole other series about the beauty of the chaos of the electrical wires on our electric poles here. And that really seemed to take off in this exhibition, so I'm going to be continuing that.
Wonderful. Well, Wyatt, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Of course, and thank you for loaning us your work for the week. We greatly appreciate it, and looking forward to seeing more coming from you.
All right, thank you.
Of course. Wyatt Gallery artist with us this morning on the Now Morning Show. You can enjoy his incredible artwork all week long as we continue to collaborate with the Art Society of Trinidad and Tobago. Stay tuned. There's more coming up on this Monday edition of Now, right after this break.